The Universal Law of Faith, a wisdom teaching from the Intergalactic Alliance of Light Beings. Channeled for you by Canadian psychic medium and multidimensional channel Tracey Milne. Faith does not make things easy, but it does make things possible. Luke 1:37. Greetings, friends, and welcome to our examination of the Universal Law of Faith. Have you ever wondered how a baby sea turtle is born knowing its first task is to get to the sea? Would you say their drive is born of instinct or applied intuition? What if they're the same thing, energetically speaking? The universal law of faith is founded upon the recognition that we know more than we read, hear, or study. We know more because we are more. We as humans have a direct link to Source, as well as a highly responsive universal energy system, universal answers, and universal wisdoms. When logic alone doesn't bring answers that feel right, when uncertainty, fear, insecurity, or a desire to control another arises, applying the law of faith can make the difference between receiving Source solutions instead of hatching ego-based ideas. Because your soul understands things that your logical mind cannot even put into words. By honoring your intuition as much as your intellect, you increase your odds of success in any venture on many levels, not just one. The universal law of faith requires you to trust yourself and allowing the divine spark within you to guide your next move in each moment along your earth journey. If you let it, your intuition will guide you to the steps to take that are just right for you specifically. For whether you're trying to achieve something alone or with another, it is still you that gets to choose what you will activate and what you will ignore. Let's say, for example, you require expert advice to help you solve a problem or resolve an issue. You as an individual will be taking a leap of faith when choosing an ally you're comfortable working with. Now let's say the first expert you meet with feels off intuitively. Perhaps they reflect as overbearing, aggressive, belligerent, belittling, bitchy, or just plain bored with your concerns or questions. What will you do? You can choose to suck up any discomfort you may be feeling. You can choose to ignore your intuitive red flags, or you can make new choices based on your new data, having faith that you will be intuitively guided to the right person for you at the right time for you. But to do so, you must be willing to take new steps. This is where applying the law of faith in the right place at the right time can be the difference between reaching your goals on your terms and getting sidetracked on someone else's path. For your inner guidance will let you know where you want to be. Try this. Take a moment and think about a wish you'd really like to see come true for you or someone you love. How would it feel to have that dream become a reality? What emotions do you feel? How do these emotions feel in your body? How does this feel in your heart? How does this feel in your gut? Pay attention to all that's going on within your body-mind-spirit complex, for it's your key to how to process a yes from the universe. We ask because this is where knowing yourself can come in really handy. Now, take a moment and try to figure out how the universe will deliver to you what it is you desire. And then pay attention to any changes in your emotional and mental vibrational fields. What happened to you on the inside when you tried to dictate how the universe would deliver? Did you remain feeling similar to the previous thoughts? Tune in now and discern what feels different, for that is your no signal from the universe. Do you know why they feel so different? Because one avenue allows for Source solutions, universal perspective, infinite possibility, and synchronicity, which your soul recognizes, while the other relies on calculations, projections, and unknowns to be managed, not embraced, run by your ego. There's an old saying, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way, you'll be right. So, what do you want to be right about? The universal law of faith works directly with the law of intuition and is experienced and activated in your body, mind, and soul. You will often find this energy infusing with your solar plexus, heart, throat, head, and creative action centers. This law requires a true knowing and appreciation of oneself, as who you've been taught to be comes loaded with control mechanisms and often learned fear-based misinformation that has been passed off as common knowledge. This misinformation has led you to believe that faith in another is more noble than faith in self. Having faith in another is a blessing. Having faith in yourself is an integral part of the Earth Star human experience. You remember you are part of Source in human form. You may only be human for a little while, but you will be part of Source for eternity. When what appears to be realistic thinking leaves your tummy in knots, that's your sign it is not your truth, just someone else's idea of it. Life in 3D has trained you to remember your failures and to use the avoidance of failure as your impetus for success. It is this avoidance of perceived failures that creates energies of fear, uncertainty, judgment, jealousy, and self-sabotage. Your soul uses your intuition, curiosity, enthusiasm, prudence, and faith, fueling your inner spark with the emotional, mental, and spiritual alignment you will need to succeed in every venture, big or small. Self-trust, or faith in one's abilities, can be improved through the application of the law of practice. But sometimes no practice time is given. You have to act and act quickly, and that is where the law of faith can make the difference between feeling capable or feeling overwhelmed. Either way, you're the one who is creating this inner energy in motion by what thoughts you choose to believe and those thoughts you don't believe. Ego uses proof outside of yourself. Spirit uses intuitive knowing from within. Emotions fuel inner motion, inner processing, inner truths that lead us to make new choices we will either take action towards or action away from. It is in these moments of unknowingness when the law of faith can be best utilized, helping us to trust our immediate responses are coming from the wisdom of our expansive soul and not the fear of our cautious ego. Our ego will guide us to take steps that will impress or influence another. Our spirit will guide us to take steps that will improve our lives and the lives of others. For what might call to one soul might never even occur to another. From this perspective, it becomes easier to see that while another might have practical knowledge, only you will be able to hear the voice of your intuition and wisdom. This perspective and approach also allows you to comfortably move at your own pace, releasing you from the bonds of competition or comparison. Applying the law of faith releases you from feeling the need to explain yourself or second-guess your choices, for you will know you are honoring your inner knowingness, that part of you that is always connected to Source Solutions. The law of faith is the difference between believing you are on the right path and knowing you are. For sadly, people with impure intentions can lie without shame, and logic alone will not help you to determine when you're being led astray. But your intuition is your connection to Source's guidance system, and if you give it a chance, your intuition will always guide you along the path that is the best way for you to achieve success in any area, avenue, or adventure. Sometimes you'll be sent helpful people, and sometimes one avenue will close to move you in the direction where your thirst for success can best be quenched. Sometimes you will journey alone. Just remember to always include the counsel of your heart and the wisdom of your soul in your decision-making process. It takes courage to trust your inner guidance and courage to leap into the unknown. But courage needs faith in order to turn what is into what could be. So have faith in yourself, for you are so much more powerfully connected to Source than you can possibly imagine. Believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities, and trust that you will be guided every step of the way by an infinite Source energy that is always speaking to you through the whispers of your heart and the waves of your inner knowingness. Your faith, your hope, and your love are more valuable than you may ever know. Cherish them as we cherish you. And know, dear Earth Star Angel, you are truly ever loved by Source and by us. We thank you for joining us today for our examination of the law of faith. Join us next time when we will examine the law of attraction. Until next time, on behalf of the Intergalactic Alliance of Light Beings, I am Chimera, saying Namaste. This wisdom teaching has been brought to you by WhatComesNextForYou.com. What comes next for you? What's in your future?